This time on KEI Fabrication.
Okay folks, so what I have is just a quick point of information here. As I mentioned, I bought this wire cutting tool just this week, and this is made by the same company. I got it from the same company, TEMCO, off of eBay. This is the device that if you're on the road or in the field somewhere, you can just smack the anvil with a hammer and it'll crimp it. I really like putting it in my shop press, and it's a little more of a controlled thing. You can put this in a vise and use the vise to squish it. So I just want to show you, this is 2/0 really fine braid soft cable, and I'll tell you, I just cut a piece to give it a try, and this is probably going to fall on the floor when I do it, but I mean, this thing cuts like butter. I am really impressed with this thing. So not too shabby. Yeah, these work really well. So anyway, I just wanted to show you the crimp process. I just stripped the wire back the proper distance to get full engagement, and make sure every strand is inside of the thing. And I usually just put it in so this is horizontal, and then I just use the shop press. Now I'll show you the shop press in a minute, but so if you want to watch this thing crimp, maybe that's the best way to do it. And I just make sure that that's fully engaged, and then I have a gauge on the shop press. It's right here, and I just go to 1500 psi, and that usually doesn't deform this thing too crazy. The shop press has got a lot of power, and it will it will flatten this thing right out or destroy this thing. So I do have a reference here on the gauge, so I'm just going to go. You can see it deforming the connector, and there's the pressure that I usually run to, and then relieve the tension, and it does a nice job here. You can see that the jaws make some nice imprints there, and then it puts a really nice imprint in there, and you would have to put this thing in almost like with a chain fall or something, or a come along, to with these two ends on it, and pull them apart. If I had the right instrumentation, I would try it. Put two of these on and put them in some sort of device to pull on it. If I could measure the tension on that, I would do that. But this was relatively cheap. You can see it's got the TEMCO logo on it. I think it was $20 on eBay. So between the two, I got like $50, and I can make some very high quality, permanent, industrial grade connections on wire. So I'm going to use the shop press again in a couple of minutes. I'm going to do the changeover, and I'm going to start pressing my axle studs in. Like I said before, every tool in this shop has a story. This actually came out of a pharmaceutical company. This electric over hydraulic unit is tied into an Enerpac ram. I ended up with this thing. I purchased it just the way you see it. The pharmaceutical company went through their ISO regulations, and everything in the whole facility from soup to nuts needed to be explosion proof, and the electrical power unit in this hydraulic unit is not rated for explosion proof, so they were forced to get rid of everything that did not have an explosion proof rating. So anyway, that was 25 years ago that I ended up with this, and man, I use this for everything. This is my press brake. Obviously it's my shop press for doing bearings and things like that, as we're about to use it for. and the I use it for my electrical connections. I've actually used this as a race car spring raider. We take one pad scale from a 4-corner scale system, the digital scales like Rebco or Tanner Racing or Longacre, some manufacturer like that. We put it on here and we'll put a coil spring in here and we'll do very accurate 1-inch increment compression rates and record the data off of the scale, and basically what you end up with is a digital spring raider. So I've done all of those things with this press. I use it. I'd really be hard pressed to live without it at this point. All of my things I've got sitting around here, and this might be boring as heck to some of you, but it's just the way I operate. All of these things are what I've collected over the years to use as shims or bushings or whatever to press different size bearings on. Got them all over the place. My press plates here with the V's in them. They're just kind of staged up here to use them. Yard sale. Found them on a tarp, sitting on a tarp at a yard sale, and ended up with the large set and a small set. So this big plate here came with an old drill press that I had, really antique belt driven drill press. So that's been my main press plate for years and years and years and years. So that's enough about that, enough rambling on. Let's get to pressing the wheel studs in. I'm going to get the press set up for that.